And I just got some more notes on this. On Seymour's science-based approach, I couldn't find one prominent client scientist that endorsed the review.
Okay.
Yep. Another thing to note, the panel was mandated to summarize up-to-date scientific evidence about methane. They were not explicitly directed to legislate or propose binding targets. So they've just sort of summarized some other... Yeah, and I'll go more to that in a second. Oh yeah, Paris Climate Agreement uses GWP 100, not GWP star,
That would make sense.
making this implementation kind of pointless anyway. It just looks better to us.
I mean, they're already breaking the fucking Paris Agreement. Why not add another thing in there?
Exactly. Simon Upton, the Environment Commissioner, has criticized claims from farming groups that there is new methane science. He says there wasn't strong evidence, not strong justification for a new review, and has also called the government's science review a political exercise, suggesting that no new science justifies weakening existing targets. He is a former national MP, FYI, just in case you're wondering if he's biased. So one of the panel members, so I did find a scientist who's sort of kind of liked it. He was a physicist, not an environmental scientist, but he was one of the panel members of the methane review, and he states the old targets weren't very realistic, which, I don't know, going back to sort of the thing that Jacinda said in her interview not long ago, it's about ambitious targets, like...
Yes.
Because I remember when we covered this a while ago, and we were talking about the predicted targets, Luxon saying we're on track to meet our targets, all that kind of thing. But that was optimistic. That's assuming a lot of things, such as planting enough trees, and another key one is technological gains. They account for that. They're assuming in the future we're going to get efficient. So if things don't get more efficient, it's going to completely backfire their projections entirely. It's relying on new technology being developed in the future that we don't have. So again, it's sort of dubious. So I think it is better to, even if it's unrealistic, it's better to aim high and, sort of land not as high rather than aim lower and be like, oh shit, we fucked that up still. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's stupid.
But that same guy, that same panel member physicist who thought they weren't realistic, also came out in a new article today. He explicitly criticizes the decision not to price methane, saying decision makers bowed to the farming lobby. So their own fucking panel members disagree.
Wow. What a mess.
But it gets better because, remember, this is all scientific basis, even all the scientists seem to be disagreeing.
Scientific mess.
Yeah, scientific mess. The government, so in the review, they argued that New Zealand's biogenic methane, mainly from livestock, contributes less cumulative warming than older GWP 100 estimates suggested. And what that means isn't like there's new science or calculations to presume that things are going to be not as bad as we think. Again, that's just the projection that we saw. That's essentially, this graph makes it look better. This graph suggests things would be better than they would under the other graph. That's basically what they said there. So
the graphs are explaining very different things.
Yes, exactly. And that's pretty much all this entire change is based off, is that sort of one claim. They actually cite two scientific papers as well. One of them is a foundation paper proposing GWP star, showing that constant methane emissions lead to no additional warming, which again we accept that that's what we're gaining for, is no additional warming, not to reduce it. And this one by Frame. Someone named Frame from Victoria University.
I was going to say, I recognize that person's name.
I got their first name here somewhere. David Frame. Professor David Frame from Victoria University. They found that if NZ cuts methane by roughly 20% by 2050, the radiative forcing from methane would plateau, no extra warming, even without reaching the additional 47% cut. Again, that's just saying we won't have additional warming, which again, is that really what we want to aim for, is just no additional warming? I'd like to aim for a bit better goal than like, let's keep the status quo, And
Absolutely.
the review itself explicitly warned that these findings were not policy recommendations, and that stabilizing warming isn't the same as meeting the 1.5 degrees Celsius goal. So, despite all that, even the panel members are like, despite us saying this is not the same as meeting the 1.5 degrees Celsius goal, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was like, I was almost kind of surprised. I was just waiting for that number to come up at some point.
Yeah. Oh, and one more just cherry on top. The professor, David Frame, actually spoke out too. So one of the authors of the paper, one of the two critical papers they cited, has spoken out saying the government has politicized the review. They said the science described how methane behaves and not how much we should cut. So
misinterpreting fucking science.
So there's your science, fucking David Seymour. They all disagree with you, to say the least. So how about you actually listen to a fucking scientist for once? And I tell you what, I don't want to hear fucking one more motherfucker talk about the future generations having to pay off debt when we're going to have to deal with this shit. I don't give a fuck about the debt. I give a fuck about the planet being on fire. Right?
Who's going to be there to pay the debt?
Yeah. And just because I needed to vent, I decided to make a new proposal campaign. I hope the Greens are listening. Here's my new campaign for you. It's called Where's Your Economy Now? It's my new campaign. Where's your economy now? And you just get pictures of environmental disasters.
I mean, you know what? I could probably send this to some people in the Greens, to be fair. So maybe I'll send that their way.
Yeah. But that made me feel good once I got that done.
No, that is great. Also, kia ora, Rajan. We see you. Hope you're having a good day at work.
And that's my picture.
It's a beautiful picture. And honestly, I really like that flood one. The flood one hits pretty hard.
You like the flood one?
Wow. I mean, when you think about how many floods have we been dealing with recently?
Yep. And this isn't a third world country, by the way, guys. This is Germany.
Oh.
Like 3 years ago.
I could have thought that was New Zealand, to be fair.
No, this is Germany. Everyone will be touched.
Yeah. I guess it's not really just about us here in this country. It's about the whole world. I mean, I think more about us because obviously smaller islands, going to be kind of first on the chopping block. So, yeah.
Yeah.